I welcome you all again on this course on fundamentals of power electronics. Today we are going to see that what is power electronics and what are different features of power electronics and what are the different applications of power electronics. So let's start. So today we are going to see power electronics definition, power electronic systems and application of power electronics. So first, let's take the example definition of power electronics. So power electronics involves the study of electronic circuits intended to control the flow of electrical energy. Basically, our power electronics are nothing but circuits which are intended to control the flow of electrical energy. In other words, you could say that power electronics is required to meet the requirement of load. I will try to explain this with the help of a very common example that we are encountered in our day-to-day life, that is mobile charger. So all of you are very much aware that your mobile phone battery has a voltage of 3.7 volt DC, right? But what is available in our home, that is 220 volt AC at 50 hertz. So you could see that there is a requirement of 3.7 volt DC to charge your battery, but what is available? Available is only 220 volt AC at 50 hertz. So you required a circuit which would convert this 220 volt AC into a 3.7 volt DC. So the power electronic circuit is used to convert this power for the load as required. So whatever power electronic circuit is used to meet the requirement of load can be said as power electronic circuit. This is a very common example, and you would see all around that there are numerous examples of application of power electronics which we are going to cover in the time to come. So these are the basic structure of power electronic systems, where you have a electrical source and you have a load, and to meet the requirement of load you require a power electronic circuit. So what this load could be? This load requirement could be AC, the load requirement could be DC. Okay, or in case of a AC, the requirement may be voltage at different level, which is not in the source side, and there may be a requirement of at different frequency other than 50 hertz or 60 hertz. So your load may be required AC or may be required DC, and in the source side also there may be a AC, there may be a DC. So whatever conversion is required, that will be done with the help of a power electronic circuit. That conversion is facilitated by power electronic circuit. The example previously we have taken, that is a case of a mobile charger. The available was AC and your requirement at the load is DC, and the circuit involved in between is your mobile charger circuit. Now these power electronic circuit generally has some electronic switches, basic component of electrical, that is RL and C, and to turn on these switches on and off as required will be done with the help of this control circuitry. So this is a generalized system that you could have for a power electronic circuit in real life, right? Another example you could take for this by to understand clearly about this power electronic system. So let's say you have a DC battery of 12 volt, right? And there is a power outage in your house. So what you have in your homes, you have a inverter. right? And what is your requirement? Your requirement is 220 volt at 50 hertz. So this inverter will convert this DC power from 12 volt to required 220 volt with the help of a inverter. And I am saying inverter over here, it will have this power electronic circuitry and control circuitry together, right? So this is, by this example, I hope I am able to clear that what are the different power electronic systems are there, and what are the basic structure of a power electronic systems. Now let's from the previous slide I have clearly mentioned that there may be a load AC there may be a AC input power and you required a DC. So in that case you will convert this AC into DC with the help of a power electronic systems, and we could call it as rectifier. So while you are converting a AC into DC, the power electronic circuit can be said as rectifier. When you are converting from AC to AC, why you required AC to AC? Sometimes in case of where the requirement of the load is AC but at different voltage level and at different frequency. So you could call them as simply nothing but voltage or frequency regulators, right? And previously I have taken the example where you are converting a DC power into a AC, right? We call these circuits as inverters, right? And sometimes you have a DC power but the requirement is of also DC but at different voltage level. You could call it as DC to DC converter, or simply you could call it as chopper. So this is a combination of a different input source and load. So requirement from AC to DC, you could call it as a rectifier. If you have a DC to DC conversion, you could call it as DC to DC converter and chopper, or DC to AC conversion is generally known as inverters, and from AC to AC you could have voltage frequency regulators. Now what are the different applications of power electronics that we are encounter day to day in our day-to-day life, right? The one example, very most common, is one that you have in your mobile charger. To charge your mobile battery, you need a mobile charger which is having 3.7 volt DC requirement, and you have 220 volt AC, and the circuit used is in the mobile charger is nothing but a application of power electronics. Another one is in locomotives. Many of you have traveled through train and from the electrical locomotive, and you could see there are motors which are installed in the locomotives to run the train, and this motor requirement may be DC or may be AC. There may be DC motors and there may be AC motors. Previously, if I'll say back to 10 or 12 years, generally DC series motors are used. And on the supply side, you have AC. If you have seen above the train, there are wires are there and which are having AC. But in the locomotive, there is a rectifier available which convert this AC into DC, and further this DC runs the motor of the locomotive. But because of the advancement in power electronics, now the locomotives are having AC motors, especially like induction motors. And you have a unregulated AC, but to control the AC motors efficiently, we need to convert that AC further, and there is a power electronic circuit involved which facilitate to control these motors efficiently. So you could see that power electronics has find numerous applications. Another, renewable energy. As you all know that there is a much emphasis now on the use of renewable energy, but from renewable energy only DC is available. To make it usable, you convert this DC into required voltage level at AC. So power electronics is involved again in the conversion of energy from DC to AC, or you could say the requirement is AC and available is DC, power electronics is required. So these are some examples that I have discussed. Another example of power electronics is your inverter at your home, which I have explained earlier, and in your home appliances as well, like microwave, your televisions. Now LEDs are coming, and you are using LED bulb, that is also required power electronic circuits. And a very important one I would say that nowadays is electric vehicle. In electric vehicle again, the power source available in the form of DC, and you would have motors which will run your vehicle. Like in the case of locomotives, it is also again, it may be a DC motor or it may be a AC motor. To control this motor, you require a power electronic circuit. Another, transmission and distribution of electrical energy. In the days to come, we are going to see a very good application of power electronics in the transmission and distribution of electrical energy, that is solid state transformer. We call it as SST. Previously we do have a transformer which is works on the Faraday's principle, and you convert a voltage level from input to the required at the output with the help of a normal trans. But in the case of SST, which is completely having power electronic circuit, will be able to do the same work but at much better efficiency as compared to the conventional transformer. And in the days to come, it is going to be a very feasible technology which will be installed in nearby your house. So these are the some applications of this power electronics. I hope you have understand well this lecture, and we are going to see in the next lecture. Thank you.